Shane, welcome back to HBF Park. It's been a little while. What memories does this place hold for you?
Yeah, Gareth, you're right. Very fond ones, to be honest. I haven't been back here. Well, I haven't actually been back to the stadium since I left. I don't think. I've been back over to Perth once or twice, but yeah, really nice to walk in here and sort of get a feel. Obviously, the place has changed a little bit. Looks even nicer than it was from what I remember. But yeah, just looking at the pitch now, I know it's not up to scratch at the minute, but it's I just remember the action that went out there, and I get a few flashbacks. But yeah, great place, great memories, especially that first season. I mean, I was here for 3 years, but that first season, I think we obviously went to the grand final and nearly got over the line. But yeah, some really good memories.
The squad that went all the way to that grand final made some big characters in there, the likes of Billy Mehmet, Stephen McGarry, Burnsy as well, Vooker, of course. What are your memories of that changing, that group?
Yeah, really good group, and I think that's obviously one of the most important things if you're going to go and achieve something, is the group that you've got inside the change room. As you mentioned, some of the names there, were led by Burnsy, was our captain and leader on and off the pitch, and we had a good blend of senior players and young players, and I think everyone brought something to the table. So, really tight knit group as well. Obviously, at Perth, you do a lot of travel, so you get to know your players inside out. But yeah, you can't deny that was a very good group, and a group that wanted to go and achieve something, I think.
The business end of that season, you were in absolutely flying form. There was the 4 goals against Victory here, the hat-trick against Melbourne Heart as well, a goal against Central Coast in the game that went to penalties. How much did you enjoy that run in those final games before we headed to Brisbane?
Yeah, I think that was probably one of my fondest memories of my time even in the A-League, was that period. Looking back on it, I think that season we might have even, I think we started off fairly slow in the league. Even I think midway point we weren't in a great position, but I think we still had that inner belief that we had the squad to go and do something. And once it clicked into gear, second half of the season, I think we went on a fantastic run, and that was probably the best thing. Obviously, the timing of that leading into finals, because obviously going into finals here, I think we had. Did we have a couple of home finals? It was maybe Melbourne Victory and Melbourne Heart,
and then Wellington, of course.
And then Wellington,
well.
Yeah. So we were on a great run. I think that was probably my purple patch of scoring goals as well for the club, which was great, and to be doing it in finals and scoring hat tricks and things like that was great memory, and obviously the crowd and the hype built up around that season. So it was just a really good sort of run in from the back end of the season into finals, and just a shame we couldn't get the job done in the grand final.
Well, I suppose we do have to touch on the grand final. I'm guessing you sort of bear some scars, both physical and mental, from what was a tough afternoon for the club and for you personally.
Yeah, really tough one. And even now thinking about it, yeah, it does hurt a little bit, that one, because we were so close. Obviously, I had my sort of facial injury, which I think came after 14 minutes, and I played the rest of the game, and I think I came off at 86 minutes and we were 1-0 up. So, to think that we lost it from there is still a tough pill to swallow. But look, it is what it is, and it doesn't take anything away from sort of, I guess, without lifting a trophy, but what we achieved that season.
Just fast forward into the present day, Shane, you're still very much involved in the game. For anyone who doesn't know, what are you up to these days?
Yeah, so the last few years I've been working as a player agent. So I went after my playing days, I went into coaching a little bit, and then it was just around the COVID period that I branched out and went into management. Really enjoying that. It's been a sort of a slower build, with a sort of focus on linking up with some of the best talents in the country, young ones, and looking after them sort of present and for the future. I think with what I can bring to the table in terms of that is helping these young players throughout a career, not just a one move. I think it's important. So, you talk to a lot of ex-footballers, and there's been some ups and downs with how they've been managed. So I think if I can bring something to the table with the players that I look after. I think that's the aim. So got a good group of players that I look after now, and obviously Jaden's one of them. He was one of my first players that I looked after, so it's great to see him come to the club and actually take the number 9 jersey as well, which I wore, and a few other top number 9s wore at this club. So I'm sure he'll wear that with pride.
Perfect.